On May 20th, Tang Shuning was supposed to get a marriage certificate with her boyfriend Liang Qiming, who had been in a relationship with her for 6 years. She had long made careful plans for the decoration of their wedding house and scheduled to transfer 880 Zaro yuan, her savings accumulated over the years, to the special supervision account of the decoration company for house renovation, looking forward to starting her new married life wholeheartedly. When they arrived at the gate of the Civil Affairs Bureau and were about to queue up for the certificate, Tang Shuning suddenly received a bank SMS reminding her of the scheduled transfer. She was shocked to find that the recipient of the decoration fund, which was supposed to go to the dedicated supervision account, had been changed to Yi Fang, Liang Qiming's mother. At the same moment, she saw a message from Liang Qihang, Liang Qiming's younger brother, in the Liang family group chat saying that once his sister Law's money arrived, he would have enough down payment to buy a house. This sentence completely exposed all the schemes of the Liang family. Heartbroken instantly, Tang Shuning immediately logged into her mobile banking and cancelled the scheduled transfer of 880,000 yuan without hesitation. Liang Qiming, who was waiting happily to get married, froze with a smile on his face the moment he saw her action. He hurried to stop her, persuading her not to act impulsively and make a scene in public, hoping to get the marriage certificate smoothly first and discuss the money issue later. Faced with his perfunctory persuasion, Tang Shuning was filled with deep disappointment and asked him sharply why he had privately changed the receiving account and whether he had known the truth in advance. At first, Liang Qiming tried every means to cover up the truth, making excuses that public accounts could not accept large sum payments on holidays, so his mother would temporarily collect the money on their behalf, promising it was only a short term turnover and the money would be returned once the decoration started. Tang Shuning recalled that Liang Qiming had indeed used this excuse to persuade her to schedule the transfer before. At that time, she trusted him completely because of their years of affection and never looked into the truth behind it, which made her feel extremely chilled in hindsight. After checking the chat records in the family group, she finally saw through the true thoughts of everyone in the Liang family. Relatives in the group all echoed her, praising Tang Shuning for being generous and sensible for helping her brother Law buy a house. Liang Qiming rushed to explain himself and withdraw the messages to cover up the facts. Yet Tang Shuning had already saved all the chat records completely, seeing that the matter was exposed. Liang Qiming no longer tried to hide it. He admitted that the whole family had discussed it long ago. They planned to take advantage of the marriage registration day to quietly divert the decoration money saved by Tang Shuning to make up the down payment for his younger brother's house purchase, intending to comfort and prevaricate Tang Shuning slowly after getting the marriage certificate. In their eyes, once Tang Shuning married into the Liang family with a marriage certificate, her savings would naturally become the common property of the Liang family and could be allocated arbitrarily by the whole family. During the quarrel, Yi Fang called. Instead of feeling guilty and apologetic, she questioned Tang Shuning righteously for canceling the transfer without permission, ignoring the crowds of people at the Civil Affairs Bureau. She accused Tang Shuning of being unreasonable, claiming that it was natural for family members to lend money to each other, and blamed Tang Shuning for attaching too much importance to money and calculating her husband's family even before getting married. Tang Shuning put forward reasonable demands calmly. If they really wanted to borrow money for Liang Qihang to buy a house, they had to sign a formal IOU, clarifying the specific loan amount, repayment date and reasonable interest rate, and use the house purchased by Liang Qihang as collateral. Only when all procedures were legal and standardized would she consider lending the money. However, her legitimate requests were firmly rejected by Yi Fang. In her opinion, Tang Shuning was not yet a member of the Liang family and had no right to meddle in family affairs or put forward such harsh conditions. The number calling announcement to the Civil Affairs Bureau rang out, and their waiting number was called to the service window. Liang Qiming was extremely anxious, constantly pulling Tang Shuning to get the marriage certificate first and resolve the money conflict privately. begging her not to ruin the happy occasion by falling out in public. But Tang Xuanying was completely disillusioned. After 6 years of love and 3 years of discussion about marriage, she had confirmed the decoration style of the wedding house early and prepared all wedding affairs, devoting all her energy to planning their future. Nevertheless, she finally realized that the marriage she looked forward to wholeheartedly was nothing but a means for the Liang family to calculate her savings. They had long planned to empty her savings to help their younger son buy a house. She publicly returned the queuing number for marriage registration and stated firmly that she would never get this marriage certificate. New couples queuing nearby all looked over, and public comments made Liang Qiming lose all his dignity. He was flustered and angry, holding Tang Xuanying tightly and refusing to let go, trying to salvage the situation. Tang Xuanying remained calm and pointed out the double standards of the Liang family when they needed money. They treated her as an outsider once they got the money. They expected her to devote everything as a family member, and she would never yield to such unfair treatment. Learning that relatives from both sides had gathered at the pre-booked wedding hotel to celebrate their marriage registration, Tang Xuanying decided to go to the hotel and reveal the whole truth in front of all relatives. All the expenses for the hotel banquet deposit, wedding photography, makeup artists, wedding candies and gifts were all paid by Tang Xuanying alone. She had prepared for the happy event wholeheartedly, but she was secretly calculated by her future and minus loss in return. After arriving at the hotel private room, He Jiuifang took the lead in crying and complaining, blaming Tang Xuanying for being willfully unreasonable and ruining the happy occasion, making Liang Qiming lose face completely. Without unnecessary arguments, Tang Xuanying publicly projected her expense accounts sorted out over the years on the screen. During their relationship, she had paid for Liang Qiming's training fees, his family's hospitalization expenses, the deposit for his younger brother's car purchase, living expenses during his unemployment, and pre-payment for wedding house soft furnishings, with the total expenditure exceeding 1 million yuan. In contrast, Liang Qiming had spent very little on her over the years, and even the expensive jewelry he gave her was bought with the credit card supplementary card under Tang Xuanying's name. Faced with clear transfer records and detailed accounts, all relatives of the Liang family fell silent, and no one persuaded Tang Xuanying to be tolerant anymore. She also released the previously saved chat screenshots proving that Liang Qiming and He Jiuifang had colluded long ago, determined to stabilize Tang Xuanying after getting married and freely use her pre-marital savings, firmly believing that Tang Xuanying would compromise silently because of marital affection after marriage. Meanwhile, the house purchase subscription document held by Liang Qihang fully confirmed all their schemes. The insufficient down payment for the house was exactly equal to the decoration money Tang Xuanying had prepared to transfer, and the deadline for payment was exactly to p. On that very day, the Liang family had made thorough calculations, yet they never took Tang Xuanying's legitimate interests and inner feelings into consideration. Totally disheartened, Tang Xuanying immediately called the wedding planning company to cancel their long-prepared wedding, and made it clear that all subsequent banquet expenses should be borne by the Yang family, and she would no longer pay for any related costs. She also returned all keys to the pre-arranged wedding house without hesitation and changed the password of her own residence, completely cutting off all ties with the Liang family. Tang Xuanying's mother accompanied her silently all the time, feeling distressed that her daughter's years of devotion ended up in disappointment. She said that the more than 300,000 yuan she had given her daughter was meant to give her financial support for a stable married life, not to make her wronged and compromise blindly to her husband's family. In the afternoon, Liang Qihang missed the down payment deadline and sent private messages anxiously begging Tang Xuanying for help, crying that the house purchase subscription deposit would be completely forfeited, trying to win sympathy by talking about feelings. But Tang Xuanying refused him coldly and directly blacklisted him to cut off all contact. At night, Liang Qiming, who had calmed down, sent numerous messages repeatedly, trying to save their relationship, saying that it was hard to let go of their 6-year affection. claiming that his family had realized their mistakes and hoping that Tang Shan-ing could let bygones be bygones and renegotiate their marriage. After experiencing this marriage registration turmoil, Tang Shan-ing finally woke up completely. In the past, she had been tolerant and yielding blindly, maintaining this relationship with all her financial and material resources, considering everything for her partner and being considerate of all difficulties of her husband's family, only to be schemed against and demanded endlessly. She no longer held any illusions and rejected all his words of reconciliation. She deposited the 880 yuan into her personal fixed deposit account, clearly defining it as her personal pre-minus marital property, and saved all chat records, audio evidence and capital accounts to be properly backed up by a lawyer to protect all her legitimate belongings. May 20th, a day full of romantic implications for love and affection, did not let Tang Shan-ing into the palace of marriage, but allowed her to thoroughly see through human nature and withdraw from the calculating family in time. She gave up the wrong relationship and let go of past obsessions. By keeping her own savings and bottom line, she finally regained her peaceful life. She realized that a happy marriage never means unilateral dedication, but sincere mutual treatment, mutual understanding and respect, consistent values and clear financial boundaries. Only by sticking to her original intention and bottom line can she live up to herself and embrace her own peaceful rest life.